5 of the U.A.E XCAT World Series here in Dubai. It's only 2 rounds to go. My name's Jack Nichols, and alongside me in the commentary box is OK Manafelt, and it's going to be a very entertaining pole position session that we've got coming up for you in the next hour and a half. The way things work here in Dubai is that we've got a 3.5 mile course that you can see stretching out towards the left-hand side. We're here just to the southwest of the downtown Dubai district by the Palm Jumeirah, and the boats will start off just underneath Logo Island and make their way clockwise around the course, heading all the way up to the far left of the course as you see it there, then back down past the Palm, looping around Logo Island again and completing one lap. 3.5 nautical miles is the course length. We saw lap times yesterday in the region of 2-minute 37s, but I think for the pole position run we're going to see the boats going a lot quicker, and there is one of the boats that we're going to expect to see going a lot quicker, and that is boat number 3, X-Dubai. They are the boat that are leading the championship at the moment after 4 rounds of the season. They had a superb performance throughout the year. A few struggles here and there. They failed to finish in Fujairah in the second round of the season after running into engine problems. We've got some onboard cameras out there as well in the number 5 Abu Dhabi team boat, and it seems as though they are all heading out onto the water pretty quickly and pretty promptly to try and get going. So as they make their way out, I will introduce my co-commentator, famed powerboat designer, and the man behind much of the success of the Victory Team's evolution, and that is OK Manafelt. Oki, what are you expecting to see on the water today?
Thank you very much. It's a fantastic morning. It's hardly no wind at all. Skies blue, and I would guess that Victory is going out first to pick a speed trial now, because there are hardly no wakes in the morning. With mirror blank water it's a little bit sticky, so you don't get the top speed maybe, but there are no wakes. So I guess they go out first just to try to get a good time.
So as the XCAT team are now making their way out, so while the boats are in these early stages, I'll just give you a rundown of the championship standings orders, and it is X-Dubai who are at the top of the championship standings at the moment. They've picked up 131 points over the course of the season, but they're being chased down by the Abu Dhabi team who have 108 points. They're in second place, and that battle's going to be absolutely fascinating. Here you can see the points on the screen. The 6 boat of Nicolini Offshore, they're third in the championship at the moment and still in with a chance of taking the title, but it's those top 3 that are the ones to watch out for. But boat 7 Dubai, also T-Bone Station in boat number 10, it's amazing that they're down in 9th place in the standings, because they've led 2 or 3 of the races so far before they ran into mechanical problems, so a real challenge for them. But it's X-Dubai who are leading 131 points, and Abu Dhabi second on 108 points, and 6th, third on 103. As I say, it's really about those 3 boats in this battle, and you'd have to say that X-Dubai are going to be the strongest team out there. And this is on board with boat number 5, which is the Abu Dhabi team, one of 2 Abu Dhabi boats that we've got out this weekend. This one is the one that's been with us all season, Rashid Al-Taya and Faleh Al-Mansouri, who are second in the championship, having won a race earlier on in the season. And there you can see on the left-hand side the yachts boat, but X-Dubai, Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir Bin Hendi are here, coming over the line, and they are starting the first of their hot laps as they make their way through the first corner and then head out towards the far end. And how do you will the rush to get out there, Oki, depend on the weather forecast that they've got coming up later?
Maybe not the weather forecast, but the wave pattern for the forecast. The more boats out, the more wakes there will come, and the first boats out will have almost predictable flat water all the way around, so you could really stretch out and not be feared of waves.
So there is the X-Dubai boat hitting almost 180 kilometers an hour as it makes its way up towards the far end of the course through the tight right-hander that is the normal course, and then you have the long lap that will be used in the race tomorrow. Just in terms of timings for the rest of the weekend, we've got the Dubai Duty Free Speed Cat run coming up later on at 3:30. and then the race tomorrow gets underway at 2 o'clock local time. We are GMT +4 at the moment, but here are Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir Bin Hendi making their way back down now. Not the smoothest of waters out there, not exactly rough, but it's not flat, is it?
It's perfect, you know. It should not be mirror flat. It should be a little bit, not choppy, but small waves, so the boat is moving up and down. That is perfect, what you see now.
So Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir Bin Hendi, who are 3 times champions of the XCAT World Series. Well, Arif Al-Zafin is. One of those titles was won with Mohammed Al-Mari a couple of years ago, and in fact they shared one of the titles as well. I think it was 2 years ago, because Mohammed Al-Mari did most of the season, and then Nadir came in towards the end of the year. So boat number 3, ex-Dubai, the team leading the championship at the moment.
You can see the boat is flying very high now, absolutely top speed. So they're aiming for a good time and then go in and change propellers once more.
So they're coming into the final corner now through the long right-hander that brings them out in front and over the start-finish line. And
very good cornering.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
It's amazing how much they're able to get the boat around the corner. They can take the tight line in and get the rear of the boat around and turn the boat so promptly.
I'll tell you, it's very hard to do this sort of nice cornering.
So they come across the line, and they do a 2-minute 33.93. So already that's 4 seconds quicker than we saw in practice yesterday. Impressive stuff from Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir Bin Hendi. But there's going to be other boats out there to try and usurp them and to try and enter the battle for pole position. One of those is the XCAT team, boat number 2. And they are on a hot lap at the moment. Mikael Bengtsson and Eric Stark, the 2 pilots there.
Let's see their cornering now.
You can see they've got slightly lower top speed than the ex-Dubai guys at the moment. As they come through the left kink that takes them up to the final corner. And they had a great debut.
They've trimmed in a little now. You can see the bows going down a bit, preparing for the corner.
Now they swing into that final turn. We haven't had anyone else set a representative lap time just yet, only ex-Dubai on that 2 minutes 33.93. And here now across the line come boat 6, but this is the XCAT team still coming through the final corner. Boat 6 do a 2 minute 40.26.
You can see the XCAT did another sort of cornering. You take it out a little bit more to have the momentum all the way. Let's see how now.
Yep, across the line they come. In boat number 2, and it's a 2 minute 40.15, so only a 1/10 of a second quicker than the 6th boat of Nicolini, but it puts them in 2nd place at the moment. But we've only had 3 boats set a lap time, and we'll be seeing them going out and then coming back in to change their props and adjust the setup. What setup can these guys adjust during the pole position session? Is it just the props?
It's actually just the props.
Yeah. So that's the key part. We're on board here with the boat 5 Abu Dhabi team, Rashid Al-Tahir and Faleh Al-Mansouri. You can see the towers of the Dubai Marina area over to the right-hand side. And they've had a really strong season so far, winning earlier on this year in Fujairah, which gave them the lead of the championship after Fazza had run into problems and then T-Bone Station ran into problems. Still, it's just those 3 boats, ex-Dubai, XCAT and 6, who have set lap times, although Team Saracen Australia actually have just done a 2 minute 43.3, 10 seconds off the pace of ex-Dubai at the moment. It was the Dubai boat, boat number 7 of Salim Al-Adidi and Issa Al-Ali, who were the quickest in the practice session yesterday. As we see boat number 5 now on board with them again, coming towards the final corner. And they too taking a wider line through that final turn. Very wide line actually, so I wonder if they've that may have been their outlap, and now they take a wide line through the final corner to try and get more speed coming out of it and over the line to start their hot lap.
I think so.
Across the line comes Rashid Al-Tahir and Faleh Al-Mansouri. So So yes, this is the start of their flying lap now, as they come through the first turn and then head out into the sea. And boat 7 comes across the line and goes third quickest at 2 minute 38.53, which is slightly slower than they managed in the practice session, so there's more pace to come from them. Yachts are second quickest at the moment now, so it's a good lap from Francois Pinelli and Salbu Bacho. So ex-Dubai, Yachts Dubai, XCAT Racing and 6, the top 5 at the moment. And this is T-Bone Station coming back down towards us. A return to racing for Luca Fendi, who's partnering Giovanni Carpitella. Carpitella has been racing with Ahmed Al-Hamili for most of the season, but now Luca Fendi is back, which is fantastic to see in the Fendi Racing Team run entry. No lap time yet for T-Bone Station, and I think this is their out lap rather than a flying lap, so it'll be this next one that'll be the one to keep an eye on. Giovanni Carpitella, the first ever XCAT champion many years ago, and he's a very experienced powerboat racer and a very fast powerboat racer as well. But they're a team, that have really struggled with reliability. They've had engine failures from the lead of, I think, 2 races already this season.
Well, you have to have the luck on your side at the race day, and of course the more you blueprint the engines, the quicker they are and the more unreliable they are, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I think they've been on the edge and tested that.
So this is Abu Dhabi 5 coming back down towards us on their first flying lap.
It looks very quick.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got their teammates just up in front of them, who I think are keeping out of the way, the Abu Dhabi 4 boat, which are liveried absolutely identically, which is really kind of them. Makes it very difficult for us to figure stuff out. And look at that, really taking, bit out of shape there coming through the final corner, weren't they?
Yes, that was on the edge, so to say, that cornering.
Yeah, absolutely. So this might not be the quickest time for Abu Dhabi team. Looked as though they had to correct halfway through the corner, so that may have compromised them a little bit. They come across the line now and go third quickest at 2 minute 37.03, but I think they will be hoping they can get some better lap times out of it than that, but it may not be this time through because of that mistake will have compromised their run out, unfortunately. So ex-Dubai, T-Bone Station, Abu Dhabi Team 5, Yachts, Dubai and XCAT Racing are the top 6. And the number 4 boat of Abu Dhabi is a new entry, Majid Al Mansouri and Rashid Al Kamzi. Meanwhile, this is boat 22. Good to see them out there. Videx, Alfredo Amato and Joachim Kumlin. Usually it's Alfredo Amato and Marco Panessi, but Joachim Kumlin is in with Alfredo this weekend. And another Swedish pilot who's got a lot of XCAT racing experience. And here are the standings at the moment then. Ex-Dubai up at the top at 2 minute 33.93. T-Bone Station second quickest, but some way off at the moment. Then Abu Dhabi Team 5, but we saw their mistake at the final corner a couple of moments ago. Yachts are fourth quickest. Then Dubai, XCAT Racing 6, and Team Saracen Australia. Still yet to see lap times from the likes of Lady Spain, Marina Vestimenti Sud as well, who didn't manage to get out in the free practice session yesterday. So hopefully we'll see them out on course. As T-Bone Station come across the line and don't improve, they remain in second position. So those are the standings at the moment here in Dubai, round 5 of the UAM XCAT World Series. And there are T-Bone Station, who, having not improved their time on that previous lap, they remain in second place, but they were 3 seconds slower than their best time that last time through, and it looks as though they've backed off now and will come back.
As you can see, the spread in timing is quite big. It's a lot of distance for these 7.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's boat number 7, who had an eventful time last time in Gold Coast. Issa Al Ali and Salim Al Adidi, who flipped twice in Gold Coast, and already you can see the nose is looking pretty lively here as well. And how do you think that boat's handling at the moment, Oki?
You could see it's moving more than the other boats. It's a little bit slippery on the to drive, but very quick. It's not the original Victory bottom which makes it, in this sort of water, it's a quick boat but lively to drive.
Okay, so that's interesting. And I think Israel Ali and Salim Al-Adidi feel they've got something to prove, because Salim was a really quick pilot last season, and he was driving for the victory team and was very, very fast. This year for Israel Ali and Salim Al-Adidi, they haven't quite had the kind of racing that they would have wanted. I think they might have flipped in Fujairah as well, actually. They might have gone upside down in Fujairah. So it's been a traumatic season for them. They're both okay and all fine to continue with the racing, but they've had a challenging year. But going quickest in the free practice session was the perfect antidote to that. So here they come through the final corner, and we'll see what sort of lap times Israel Ali and Salim Al-Adidi can produce. You can see their current speed there as they floor the throttle, and you can visibly see, can't you, how much flatter it is when they're the other side of the island. Here comes the 7 boat across the line, second quickest, 2 minute 36.34. So a good lap there from the Dubai team.
Very good.
So ex-Dubai quickest, Dubai second quickest, Abu Dhabi team third quickest, and we go to Abu Dhabi in just 1 week. The final round of the U.A.E XCAT World Series taking place next Friday in Abu Dhabi. And that's a good lap time for a boat that's essentially had to been rebuilt after it took that battering down in the Gold Coast. Here comes one of the Abu Dhabi team boats. Yachts come across the line and don't improve. They remain in 5th position, but this is the number 4 boat, being piloted by Majid Al Mansouri and Rashid Al Kamzi, and they are in one of the few boats that is a Dug-Right design. And we've got 2 entries from Abu Dhabi team, and I think they'll be hoping for a strong performance next week, Oki.
Yes, they have to.
Yeah, absolutely. A very successful powerboating team, our Abu Dhabi team. This is their first full season in the U.A.E XCAT World Series. They turned up for the last couple of races last year for mounting a full assault, and they're currently second in the championship. Not this boat, but the number 5 boat in the hands of Rashid Al Taher and Faleh Al Mansouri. So here's the 4 boat. Across the line they come. Are we going to see a reasonable... No, that was an outlap from the 4 boat. So now they're on to their first flying lap. Well, it wasn't an outlap, it was a slow lap though. And they remain in 10th place. So this is their first flyer as we go on board with Lady Spain, who have left the wet pits for the first time. Jay Price and Sean Torrente in the Spanish run team. And they start to pick the pace up now. Yet to set a lap time, but Jay Price and Sean Torrente are very, very quick pilots. And Jay Price has had pole positions here in the past. He took a pole position for the Gabon team a couple of years ago, and also many pole positions when he was racing with Salim Al-Adidi, actually, a couple of years previously. And there's a beautiful sight as they come past the hotels of the Palm on the left-hand side. The sun rising because it is 10 to 10 in the morning here in Dubai. As the boat rocks gently from side to side. Through that left kink you can see Logo Island appearing on the right hand side. The 22 boat of Videx comes across the line and goes 6th quickest to 2 minute 38.07. So that's good from Alfredo Amato and Joachim Kumlin. But we're sticking with Lady Spain here on as they come towards the final corner. They're on their outlap at the moment. Yachts come across the line and remain 5th quickest to 2:37.59. No improvement from them, but this is now going to be Jay Price and Sean Torrente loading up, powering up to get going. The 11 Gold Coast boat has just jumped up into 7th place. That's Tom Barry Cotter and Ross Willerton in the former Moad run machine. Here comes the 46 team of Jay Price and Sean Torrente. As they disappear behind the yacht and then come across the line now. And this will be now to start their flying lap through the first turn. Dropping down to about 130 kilometers an hour at the apex before then getting back on the power, and they'll be heading up to 180 kilometers an hour or so. Rahib and Abu Dhabi Team 4 are running very close together on the course at the moment, which won't be ideal for either of them. New pilot in Rahib, Mohammed Al-Matlai, joining Abdulatif Al-Omani this weekend. As Lady Spain power off into the distance. 8th in the championship at the moment. Haven't had the year that Jay Price and Sean Torrente are used to, really. Okay, they're two pilots that are used to running right at the front.
Yes, and you can see it's a little bit more choppy out there now. So the waves from other ships around have arrived, and from the other racing boats.
This is on board with Lady Spain, who appear to have substantially slowed down there. So I wonder if they've felt that the first half of that lap hasn't gone too well, and have pulled to a halt and are going to mill around outside the far. But here's Gold Coast, Australia. Tom Barry Cotter and Ross Willerton. A superb performance from them in their debut in the championship last time out in Gold Coast. And that boat has tended to go reasonably well here in Dubai. A lot of modifications, I should say, to that boat over the course of the last 2 or 3 years, though. As they come down now through the final corner. Oh, they're going to miss that buoy.
Yeah.
So they go the wrong side of the buoy, and that's not going to help them, is it?
No.
So that's a mistake from the 11 boat, Tom Barry Cotter and Ross Willerton, and that's a shame for them, and they'll have to go back around. And because that mistake happened at the final corner, well, let's hear.
Yeah,
Let's
wonder
watch
what
it again.
happened. Yeah, they got hooked. Did you see that?
Yeah. So that's when you're turning right,
Yes.
and then suddenly.
Yeah, the bow steers the boat. You can't do anything.
So it's like you end up sort of on rails, and it swings you to the right-hand side. So 7th place at the moment for Gold Coast, Australia, but that, because the mistake happened at the final corner, not only wrecked that lap, it's also wrecked the next one as well. Still plenty of time to go, about an hour and 7 minutes. Ex-Dubai, the quickest out there. Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir bin Hendi, 2 minute 33.93. Dubai have set a 2 minute 36.34, and Abu Dhabi team a 2 minute 36.5. So between Dubai and Abu Dhabi team, it's very, very tight, and between T-Bone Station actually. So Dubai, Abu Dhabi team 5 and T-Bone Station separated by 0.4 of a second on a 3.5 nautical mile lap. Incredibly close between those guys. And there you can see the fantastic scenery around. Here is Rahib, Abdulatif Al-Omani and Mohammed Al-Matlai. Rahib are currently the 12th quickest of the 13 boats we've had out there. So who haven't we seen a lap from? We haven't seen a lap from Marine Investimenti Sud or the Fujairah team. Yeah, Marine Investimenti Sud and Fujairah team are the two boats that we are yet to see out there.
I haven't seen them gone out.
No. So maybe they're just biding their time, perhaps, as we see the boats heading up towards the far end of the course. And Rahib, another team that have had a number of driver changes, but Abdulatif Al-Omani, really a sort of a legend of the XCAT series. He's been in it for an awful long time now, hasn't he, Oki?
Yes.
Through the hairpin they come. It comes back down. And this boat really hasn't undergone many modifications at all over the course of the last few years, because it used to be a front-running boat, but as the evolution of the boats has developed, they haven't really kept up with that progress, and as a result they're not the fastest of the boats out there, but they're looking reasonable on the water at the moment. Dubai have just come across the line to start a flying lap. So we'll keep an eye out on their progress as well in boat number 7. You can see the wake that's being caused now with all the boats that are out there. How far behind a boat do you need to be to avoid the wake? Does it, or if you're any point behind, does it still affect you badly?
It's the wind drag,
right,
that could affect you because there's a lot of winds spiral, so to say, after a boat. So you 3 boat lengths.
Okay.
You should not be closer than 3 boat lengths. Even so, almost on the side, it's wind spirals that could lift the boat to unpredictable. So
17, Rahib come across the line, and they remain in 12th place on a 2-minute 49.51. Oh no, here they go. Sorry, they're just coming across the line now, aren't they? So then we'll get a lap time from Rahib in boat number 17. And it's actually slightly slower, a 2-minute 50.06, so half a second slower than they've managed so far. And you can see their last lap time on the left and their best lap time on the right hand side, and that's why they're in 12th position. So here are the 7 boats of Dubai. As we were talking about earlier, they've just come across the line to start a flyer. Currently second quickest for Issa Al Ali and Salem Al Adidi, as they hurtle their way back down towards the coast. The XCAT team are out there as well, lapping. At the moment it's ex-Dubai quickest, then Dubai, Abu Dhabi team 5, T-Bone Station, Yachts and Videx, the top 6 at the moment. There's Logo Island on the right hand side. Let's wait and see how the Dubai boat behaves coming through the final turn. You can see them taking a much narrower line in, but this is back to XCAT. I'll let you know how the Dubai lap time looks as they come across the line, but the XCAT boat now of Mikael Bengtsson and Eric Stark are making their way up towards the far end of the course as we go on board with them up towards that far end. T-Bone Station are just about to come across the line, but I think they're just starting a flying lap. Dubai, meanwhile, don't improve. They go about, well, actually, they go exactly a second slower than they managed previously, so not quite an improvement for them. Here's the XCAT team.
So the XCAT has been in, changed propellers, and see how they do now. You can see it's definitely more.
Oh, goodness
wakes,
me.
And they're flying much higher.
Yeah, that's not ideal, is it? So Eric Stark and Joachim Bengtsson really working it hard. They are 9th quickest at the moment on a 2-minute 40. And they're not looking particularly comfortable. Let's look at that moment again for the XCAT team.
They don't back off. You can see that. They're still full throttle all the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, very lively boat. They've had some lively moments over the course of the year, have XCAT. I remember in Fujairah they almost flipped coming into the... No, it was Cascais actually, wasn't it? They almost flipped coming into the final corner. But they kept it all together there. XCAT team in boat number 2 at the moment are on a flying lap, I think, as they come towards the final corner.
You know, the XCAT's crew, they're used to Swedish waters, which is very similar to English waters. It's always choppy, it's always bad weather. So they like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We never have fair weather.
That's why you come to Dubai so much. As they come out of the final corner then, here come the XCAT pairing of Eric Stark and Mikael Bengtsson. And let's see what sort of lap time they do as they come across the line. It's a 2-minute 40.56, so 0.4 of a second slower than they managed previously. So no improvement that time, but we saw the boat not really behaving as they would have wanted out on the far end of the course. As for Giovanni Carpitella and Luca Fendi, they're coming towards the final turn now in the number 10 T-Bone Station boat. They were 3 seconds slower than their best last time they lapped, and they're coming through the final turn now, so we'll keep an eye out and see what they do. Neat and tidy on the exit of the corner there, getting right up to the buoy. A 2-minute 36.7 is the best for T-Bone Station so far, but even an improvement of half a second would see them climb up the order up to second place. Let's see what they can do as they come across the line. T-Bone Station, a 2-minute 38. So still a couple of seconds slower than they managed on their first run. And that must be frustrating for them, because you make the changes, you think you know what you need to do to make the boat better, and then it doesn't improve.
No, it can be also due to the sea state that is not mirror flat any longer.
So here's Marina Vestimenti Sud, Serafino Barlesi and Alessandro Baroni are out there. That's good to see, because they didn't make it out in the free practice session. So here come the two Italians, but they've got the 11 Gold Coast boat up in front of them. So as a result, they're taking a much wider line into the first corner. In fact, a much wider line throughout the first corner. So that last lap was a 2-minute 40.64, so that was their first flying lap. As you see Rahib coming back there to the wet pits. Here's the sixth boat. Haven't spoken much about them. Tommaso Poli and Matteo Niccolini. And they are making their way now back down. They are third in the championship at the moment, after a strong series of races.
You really can see the balance act, how little of the boat is in the water, balanced by the propellers and just the aft part of the boat.
Fantastic to watch as they come through that little left kink now that brings them around towards the final turn at Logo Island. We've still got X-Dubai in the wet pits, and they are the quickest boat so far, 2-minute 33.93, and at the moment no one's really hooked up a lap to beat them or to challenge them at the moment. But I've no doubt that the likes of Dubai and Abu Dhabi team and T-Bone Station have got the pace as the sixth boat comes through the final turn. And as you say, okay, a much wider line for them, and I think that'll be because this will be their first.
Yes, to pick up speed. They have a longer straight line to pick up speed. So it's a very smart thing to do.
So the first flying lap for boat 6 begins now as they come across the line.
And very tight on the first marks.
They've made a lot of progress of the sixth boat, made a lot of changes to the boat since the last round in the Gold Coast. They've got a new set of props as well that they've invested in to try and push them towards the top 3 positions in the championship. They've never finished in the top 3 in the championship, but it's looking like they may do this year. Here are the standings at the moment then. X-Dubai at the top, a 2-minute 33.93. Then Dubai, our second quickest. Abu Dhabi Team 5 are in third place at the moment. Then T-Bone Station, Yachts, Videx, Gold Coast Australia, the sixth boater in 10th place as they start a flyer. So that last lap was a flyer actually from the sixth boat, but not as flying as they would want. And we have yet to see a lap time from Fujairah team or Lady Spain. We've seen Lady Spain out on the course, and I think they're still milling around up at the far end. But as for Fujairah team, Roberto Lopiano and Francesco Caulo, I don't think we've seen them out on the course at the moment. So here is the sixth boat, then of Tommaso Poli and Matteo Niccolini, who really struggled at the start of the season here in Dubai. Really unhappy with the way the boat was handling, but Dubai and subsequently Fujairah became something of a race of attrition, and they're really having to work hard out there as they come back down towards the coastline. And you can see that it's not rough, but you'll just hit one lump in the water and get a lot of air at this kind of speed.
Yeah, it's no wind, it's just waves from other boats around from the open sea that is rolling in.
So here's a look at the replay.
Wow. You can see they don't back off.
No. Is that the best way to deal with that, or?
Well, there are other things you can trim in, but if you back off too much, it's not good either.
Yeah, go too slow. So this is where the throttle man earns his money. As the 6 boat comes towards the final corner now, still no change in the top 7 or 8 positions, and we'll see what boat 6 can do as they hook in through the last buoy. Yeah,
very good cornering.
So here comes the 6 boat of Matteo Nicolini and Tommaso Poli. Let's see what kind of lap time this is. This is going to be their first representative lap time. A 2:40 is their best so far. But I don't think it's really going to challenge that, is it? No, it's a 2:43.76, so they remain in 10th position. But they were having troubles out on the far end of the course. But Tommaso Poli, coming into this weekend here in Dubai, was feeling pretty confident about his chances this weekend.
You know, it's been a season of consistency really for us. We've done as much as we could every race. We haven't taken extra risk, and we end up in 3rd place, not far from the first 2. Mathematically speaking, we're still open for the title. Any position of the top 3, of course, is going to be very welcome for us. We'll do as much as we can as we've done so far, and hope for the best.
So there's Tommaso Poli chatting to us yesterday, and this is boat number 5, Rashid Al-Taya and Faleh Al-Mansouri, winners of the race in Fujairah, and they're making their way back down towards the coastline of Dubai now, and they are currently 3rd quickest. They're on a quick lap as they come towards the final corner. Yes, they are pushing, so it'll be worth seeing what time they've got as they come through the final turn. Swing the back end out, and that was very neatly done through that final corner. And now they're coming up towards the line. So boat number 5, Abu Dhabi team, making their way towards the line, and let's see what kind of time they've got here. Are we going to see an improvement? A 2:36.51 was their best time, but a 2:39.84 that last time through. So again, no improvement for them. It certainly looks as though the conditions are getting a little bit trickier out there.
You can understand now why Dubai went out first of all, where it's blank water, mirror water, and took a chance. They did the right thing.
So why doesn't every boat do that?
It's a good question. They are very, very experienced, and very experienced with this home water, so they know what will happen.
XCAT team come across the line. They do a 2:51, so this is the start of their flying lap, I think, for the XCAT team. After a slower lap last time through, the 22 boat of Videx remains in 6th position as they come across the line. They were 3 seconds slower than they managed. In general, it seems it's 2 or 3 seconds the deficit to the earlier times. Here's the XCAT racing team. You can see them on virtual eye, making their way up the course. Mikael Bengtsson and Eric Stark. And the Swedes, great to have a Swedish team back in the championship, because we had Westerland Racing in the series a couple of years ago, who actually won a race here in Dubai, I think in 2013 at the start of that season, and then they disappeared, unfortunately. But now we've got the XCAT team out there, who we've already seen having a few scary moments earlier on, and still the boat doesn't seem to be absolutely perfect. Okay.
No, it's more choppy waters, and you could see it.
Yeah.
So here they had the trouble last time.
Yeah. So let's see whether it's a little bit
exactly
neater.
the same place.
So picking up to speeds of about 180 kilometers an hour, almost 200 kilometers an hour in some points in some of the boats. But that is a tricky ride out there for the XCAT team. They are currently 9th quickest on a 2:40, and this is a flying lap for them, so we'll keep an eye out on whether they can improve as they come around Logo Island now. There you can see the 2 towers in the background, and just to the left you may be able to see the old Burj Al Arab, but I don't think we can quite. the 5 boat come across the line, no improvement for them. They remain in 3rd place, Abu Dhabi team, and they're backing off to come back to the wet pits. But here is the 2 boat of XCAT. Coming through the final turn now. Let's see how neatly they take this one. A wider route they take through the final corner compared to the likes of Dubai that we saw earlier on, really sort of turning it on the spot. They keep the momentum up a little bit more and swing it around. So let's have a look if this is any improvement. Their best lap time so far, a 2-minute 40.15, and that's a 2-minute 41.28. So a second or so slower.
Yes, you can see all the boats have made their quickest time early in the stage.
So we've got XCAT racing out there. I think they might be the only boat out there at the moment. We've got Team Saracen Australia. Here they come, and this is going to be where are they at the moment? Team Saracen Australia. They're currently 12th quickest on a 2-minute 42.15. So we'll keep an eye on this one. It's Brett Lerman being joined this weekend by Paul Erik Nielsen, the Danish racer, who again has a lot of XCAT experience. And these guys were had to get themselves together very late in the day before the first round of the season here in Dubai. I think they got hold of the boat about a week before.
Then we have Dubai coming out as well.
Okay, so we've got Dubai out on the course too. So they're going to try an improvement.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Because they must think they've got more time, or you know, there's a chance for them to improve. Otherwise, they wouldn't come out, would they?
Yes, I guess they changed propellers now to test.
Because also, I suppose, even if the conditions aren't as good and you can't set a lap time, it's still an opportunity to test the boat and to practice.
Yes, yeah. Especially if you already have the best lap time.
How much of a difference does fuel make in these? Oh, Saracen Australia, they're getting the nose nice and high as they hurtle down the back stretch. How much of a difference does the weight of the fuel make in these boats?
Of course, it makes difference, but now they have very little fuel. So they're all the same, as light as possible.
And so over a course of a race distance, will the handling of the boat change as they go from full fuel down to not as much?
Yes, just like a race car.
So this is
so it's hard to make the right propellers. Normally-wise, you have the propellers for good acceleration in the start procedure. That is more important than the top speed in the end of the race.
Okay. So here are Team Saracen Australia, Brett Lerman, and he's being joined this weekend by Paul Erik Nielsen as they come through the right-hander now towards the final corner. It's Paul Erik Nielsen in the Saracen Australia boat this weekend. And he swings through the right-hander now and out towards the line. So their best lap time so far is a 2-minute 42.15. So we'll see if the 8 boat can improve on that this time through. It's going to be quite close, actually, I think, as they come across the line. It'll be there or thereabouts. Not quite, I don't think, as they come through. It's a 2:45.39. So a couple of 3 seconds off. They remain in 12th position. But here come Dubai. We saw them coming out of the pits earlier on, and now they're going to be going for a flyer. And you can visibly see how much smoother they are on the water compared to... Actually, I don't think they are going for a...
No.
They've taken a very wide line through the first corner.
Yeah, they're going at 2:37.
Yeah, so that was a 2:37, that one for Dubai, and they've now backed off.
Yeah, so you see even them, they are slower than early in the morning.
Yep, absolutely.
About
so
4 seconds, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's quite a big change for Dubai. Arif Al-Safin and Nadir bin Hendy, the men leading the championship. Here are the standings then after 45 minutes of this pole position session. So we're halfway through, and it's Dubai who are the quickest of anyone at the moment, a 2-minute 33.93 set with the first lap of the session pretty much. Then we've got Dubai second quickest, then we've got the Abu Dhabi team, boat number 5 are in 3rd place. T-Bone Station, 4th quickest at the moment. Yachts, who are out there on the course and have just started a flying lap, the 96 Yachts boat, they're in 5th place at the moment. And then we've got 6th place for Videx, 7th place for Gold Coast Australia, 8th is the Abu Dhabi Team 4, 9th is the XCAT Racing Team. Boat 6 for Nicolini Offshore is in 10th position, then Marine Investimenti Sud, Team Saracen Australia, and Rahib is completing the runners so far. Still not seen Fujairah Team out there. We've seen Lady Spain out there. Oh, there we go. Just as I say that, we see Fujairah Team out there. So that's good. We've seen all of the boats take to the course if Fujairah Team and Lady Spain haven't set a lap time. But hopefully they will be.
Fujairah team is going out now.
Yeah, so they've just left the wet pit, so we'll look forward to seeing them out there, Roberto Lopiano and Francesco Caulo. And here are the yachts boat, though, meanwhile. Boat number 96, Francois Pinelli and Saul Bubacho, another Dugwright design, and quite an old boat as well compared to some of the other machines out there. And they're running out there with the 10 boat of T-Bone Station. Now, I think T-Bone Station aren't on a flying lap at the moment, but the yachts boat are, and this will be really frustrating for them because they'll have got their clear water, then suddenly the 10 boat decide to be there, and they're going to have to be running in the wake. And in those kind of situations, there's nothing really you can do, I suppose.
No, but that distance doesn't bother them.
Okay. So the 96 boat are the ones to watch. T-Bone Station are gearing up for a flyer, but yachts are on their flyer at the moment. Coming down towards the final turn. T-Bone Station taking the wide line in, but this is the boat to watch out for as they cross the wake of T-Bone Station and come through the final corner. Neat and tidy, not as dramatic a turn as we've seen from some of the boats through there, but yachts currently 5th quickest on a 2-minute 37.39, and let's see if we have an improvement from them as they come across the line now.
Well trimmed out with the nose flying high.
It is, well, it is an improvement. They do a 2-minute 37.28, so they improve by about 1/10 of a second over their previous attempt, so they therefore remain in 5th position, just behind this boat, boat number 10, T-Bone Station, who are going for it. So that's encouraging that they were only 1/10 of a second slower.
Yeah, almost the same as Dubai.
Yeah, absolutely. So
in the second attempt.
This is T-Bone Station then, Giovanni Carpitella and Luca Fendi. Luca Fendi has been on and off in the XCAT World Series over the last, well, over this season he himself has been on and off, but the team have been here every round. But the team themselves have been on and off over the course of the year. And they were due to compete in the whole season, I think it was last year, but they had a crash in testing before the season began. And not the smoothest line that you'd want through that loop.
You can see them sliding a little bit back and forth.
Yeah, so
it drops the speed when.
So Giovanni Carpitella and Luca Fendi as they come back down to the shore. Let's hear from Luca Fendi. He's got high expectations this weekend as he makes his return to the championship.
Works. I think we're going to be in the first 3 boats because the boat runs good, and even though the weather forecast is not so good for the next days, but I like to be in the rough. So if everything works, I think we can run for the podium.
So there is the boat that Luca Fendi is at the wheel at the moment. He'll be on the wheel, and it'll be Giovanni Carpitella on the throttle as they approach 180 kilometers an hour in that Italian-run boat. Through the final corner they come now. And We'll see what kind of lap time they can do. Their best so far, 2 minute 36.7. Here they come then. Currently 4th quickest T-Bone station, and this was a 2:37.68. So again, just less than a second slower than their best lap time so far. But again, it's less slower than they were going earlier on when we were seeing boats 3 or 4 seconds off the pace. Now they're only sort of 1 second off the pace at the moment.
And still almost the same as X-Dubai.
Yeah.
About 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're now heading out. Is the 28 boat of Fugera team, Roberto Lopiano and Francesco Caulo. So this is going to be our first opportunity to see them. I don't think they've set a proper lap time so far. No, they haven't. So this is going to be, yeah, this is a proper flying lap that they're on as they come back down. They've done their out lap and now they are pushing. Again, the nose coming out a little, but not quite as dramatic as we've seen from some of the other boats earlier. As they come to the left.
That's an original Victory team boat. You can see it's moving a little bit, and that is good because you scoop more air in under.
They're coming up towards the final turn now. It looks reasonably stable compared to some of the other boats we've seen, doesn't it?
Yes.
And now just towards the final turn, and you can see the stem, if you will, of the palm up in front, and they'll turn right before that, swing through the long corner, which is I mean, it's effectively 2 corners technically, and a little bit wide of the buoy.
That is one of the earlier built Victory boat, which has the original beam, so it's not scooping as much water air under as the stretched wider boats. You could almost see that it's very stable.
Yeah. Across the line come the Fugera team, and they do a 2 minute 45.84, and that lap means they go 13th quickest, just slightly quicker than Rahib. So now it's only Lady Spain with Jay Price and Sean Torrente. That's the only boat we've yet to see set a lap time. And here come the Fugera team again, just looking at the replay. And yeah, it has a little bit of a dance. And they are able to set the 13th quickest lap time so far. Meanwhile, here is Marine Investimenti Sud, Serafino Barlesi and Alessandra Baroni. They are about to start a flying lap.
And that is also an original Victory boat that is stretched, widened a little bit, and the deck is a little bit lower to get less air drag.
Are aerodynamics the key part of these boats?
A little bit. Of course, good aerodynamics gets less air drag, and good aerodynamics balance the boat better.
There's Rahib across the line in the 17 boat, a 2 minute 51 for them, so they too were a couple of seconds slower than they've managed previously. Abdulatif Alomani and Mohamed Amatlai, the Q80 team. So these are the standings with just over half an hour to go. X-Dubai with that early lap are still the quickest of anyone, 2 minute 33.93. Dubai are second at the moment at 2 minute 36.3, but look how close it is between Dubai, Abu Dhabi team and T-Bone Station, just 3.5 tenths of a second separating those 3 boats. So if any of them can improve by the smallest of margins, they'll be able to make up places and crucially have a better starting position come the race tomorrow, which gets underway at 2 o'clock local time. We're GMT +4 here in Dubai. Then we've got Yachts in 5th, Videx in 6th, Gold Coast Australia lurking there in 7th place at the moment, about 3 seconds off that battle for 2nd place. Then we've got Abu Dhabi Team 4 in 8th position, XCAT in 9th. The 6th boat of Nicolini are in 10th place, but we haven't seen them out for a while. Marine Investimenti Suda 11th, Team Saracen Australia 12th, Fujairah Team 13th, 14th Rahib, and Lady Spain yet to set a lap time. So there you can see, just down in the distance, you can't quite pick it out, can you, the Burj Khalifa, but we've got Abu Dhabi 4 who are on the course. Majed Saeed Al Mansuri and Rashid Mubarak Al Kamzi. Great to see them here in the championship for the first time in this 4-boat, which is also a Doug Wright design. So they aren't here to enter the championship unless, I suppose, they're a sort of a they're to take points away from the other Abu Dhabi team rivals. How important is it to have more than one boat in your team during a race?
I think it's very, very important. Very important. You challenge each other, and you have different setups. So the chance of getting a good result is definitely higher.
And how much do the victory team work together between their boats? For example, okay, Dubai aren't in the championship as much at the moment, but the ex-Dubai and Dubai, both run by the victory team, will they be sharing information, or will it be no, this is our boat?
Maybe, maybe not. You never know.
So there is boat number 4. So they,
as long as ex-Dubai is faster, I don't think they share everything.
Yeah. So this is boat number 4 for Abu Dhabi team, and they are 8th quickest at the moment, 2 minute 39.4. They're only 600ths of a second slower than Gold Coast Australia, so a fraction of an improvement for boat number 4 would see them move up to 7th quickest.
So now we have 30 minutes left, and that means that they can get in and have another 2 changes of propellers, I guess, if they want.
Part of the difficulty is the sort of queue, isn't it, for to be hoisted out of the water to actually change the propellers.
Yes.
And so, big jump of air there for the 4 Abu Dhabi team, and things looking a little rocky out there for them, coming fully out of the water on a couple of occasions. And that is that's the part of the course that's tricky.
Yes, strange enough, you think that mirror blank water is very easy, but it's coming in swells from big ships long away that rolls in and then suddenly hits you, just like we saw the number 4 boats. And it's very hard to predict because you can't see swells.
Yeah, because in rough water, the throttleman will be constantly, managing it. But if it's flat, he'll be flat out.
Yeah,
and then if it comes from nowhere.
And long swells, you can't see them. But at this speed, it's dangerous. Exactly what we saw out there.
So good top speed there from Abu Dhabi Team 4, hitting just over 180 kilometers an hour as they come into the final corner. So although they've been a bit all over the place on this lap, the top speed looks good at least for them, and they're hooking up the exit of the corner pretty well. So this could be
very good cornering.
Yeah, this could be quite a good lap for them. Their best time so far, a 2 minute 39.4, as they come towards the line now. We'll wait and see whether this is any improvement for boat number 4. I don't think it is going to be. It'll be a second or 2 slower, I think, as they come across. Yeah, it's 4 seconds slower in the end. They remain in 8th position. But we saw them having the troubles out there. And yeah, they remain in 8th place. We've got a couple of boats making their way out onto the course now that have left the wet pit, and one of those is the 6th boat of Tommaso Poli and Matteo Nicolini. They're on a hot lap, and they're looking a lot more stable than the Abu Dhabi team boat that we just saw. currently in 10th place, boat number 6. And here's their current speed. Only 150 or so kilometres an hour according to the timings at the moment. So if that's correct, then that'll be a bit of a concern, I think.
Yes.
But it may be they're on their outlap, or made a mistake earlier on.
I guess so. That is also a little bit wider boat.
Mm. So here they come towards the final turn, boat number 6. And yeah, this isn't a fast lap at all for them, I don't think. Still coming through the final corner now, and they've already ticked over to 2 minutes 30. So we'll see what happens, whether they then go for another flyer or what, as they come out of the final corner. Matteo Nicolini and Tommaso Poli, who won a race in Arona 2013, I think that was, for the 6 boat, that they took victory, and they come across the line, and that's going to be them pulling back into the pits. So they're going to be frustrated with that. A 2 minute 52, so 12 seconds slower than they managed previously. So there's no doubt that there's not all is well in the Nicolini camp at the moment.
It looked like the starboard engine was trimmed in more than the port engine, so it's maybe trouble with the trim pump.
Do you, as we see XCAT team out there now, they're building up speed as they come down towards the coast, but it is an outlap for them, and we can go on board with the XCAT team as well, because one of our onboard cameras is with them here, as they, at the moment, relatively cruise around. Okay, they're still doing 165 kilometers an hour, but they're not going absolutely flat out just yet. Do you have the engines set the same way, or do you, if there's, if most of so all the corners here, well, most of the proper corners here are right-handers, does that change the way you set up the boat?
No.
Okay, just wondered. So there are the XCAT team coming through the final turn now.
They take the wide corner to pick up speed, to have the length of picking up speed, and now you see them trimming out.
9th at the moment for the XCAT team, a 2 minute 40.15. Had a great start to their XCAT season, where they picked up a podium in the Dubai Duty Free Speedcat run, and they start their flying lap now, coming down in towards the first turn, getting nice and close to that buoy on the inside line.
Very well trimmed out. Let's see on the outer corner now if they have swells or not.
Yeah, that's where they struggled last time through. And there you can see XCAT making their way up. So that's heading out to sea. Now we've got the 22 Videx boat out there as well. We've got less than half an hour now remaining in this pole position session, this EMAR pole position session, to decide who will be starting the penultimate Grand Prix of the season from pole position. The XCAT team have got a slower boat up in front, but they seem to be keeping well out of the way. And big moment there for XCAT. Goodness me, that is, we wondered how they'd be handling when they got up to the far part of the course, and the answer is not that well. It's the 4 Abu Dhabi boat that was getting out of their way, and you just wonder maybe they caught a bit of a wake of the Abu Dhabi team as they tried to pass them.
For me it looked like a long swell.
Okay. So nevertheless, a dramatic moment there. And they're going to make their way back down now, but they'll have lost a lot of time there. So they're coming back down of Mikael Bengtsson and Eric Stark.
I think, the long swells are so hard to predict and see in advance. If it's choppy water, you know it's choppy water. When it's flat,
it comes out of nowhere. So the number 2 boat of XCAT then will remain in that position. So let's have a look at it again. You'll just see them as they come in towards the buoy.
Yeah, there you see it. Wow! Woo!
Quite a ride.
Long jump.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the onboard view from them.
Ooh.
Yeah, all you see is sky. Wow, amazing stuff for the XCAT team, and that shows just how extreme these extreme catamarans are as they come around the final corner now. XCAT, I don't think we'll see an improvement from them on this lap.
No.
But yeah, big drama for them.
But that is taking risks. They were very well trimmed out and chasing a good lap time, and a little bit too much.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks as though they've gotten quite wide through that final corner. Do you think they'll come in, or do you think they'll go? It looks to me as though they're going to go for another one.
They go for another one. You saw they took the long corner now to get stretched.
Do those moments cause any damage to the boat, or
no? Only confident.
Yeah. So, exactly, which is maybe the most important thing. So the XCAT team head out again.
The confidence here is that they were happy they did the right thing. So they're aiming even harder, maybe trimming in a little bit.
Yeah. This is the 22 Videx boat. Alfredo Amato and Joachim Kumlin across the line. They're still in 6th place at the moment. Still no lap time from Lady Spain, so I wonder if potentially they've got a problem, because we saw them out on the course and then just kind of lurking around slowly. So that would be a shame if they do have a problem. But Videx now heading out into the sea. So let's see if XCAT do a better job this time through. That was a bit neater, wasn't it?
Yes. But you can almost see the swells.
Yeah.
Yes.
As they now head back down the course then, so they've made it through there, and let's see what
now
it's like.
Just full throttle from now on.
Yeah. The 4 Abu Dhabi team boat has just come past us, and they haven't made up any places. Here's the 22 boat of Videx. You can really see the different. You can see the swells, can't you? In the sort of different height of the water.
Yes. And from they're sitting very low, so it's even harder. And with the windscreen that is not crisp clear.
Yeah. Presumably you can hardly see the water that's right in front of you. You can't see the nose of the boat, I imagine. So here comes the 22 boat of Videx then. 6th at the moment, as I say. Still got XCAT out there, so I'll keep an eye on their lap time for you. With just over 20 minutes of this session to go, 21.5 minutes to go. Team Saracen Australia have just come across the line to start a flyer. Now here comes XCAT. Let's see. It seemed as though it was a bit of a neater lap for them. At the moment, their fastest lap is a 2 minute 40.15. And they're going to come across the line now. And is that an improvement? No, it's a 2 minute 41.5. So a 1.5 seconds slower. And haven't quite managed to find the pace out of that boat. Let's keep an eye on the 22 boat of Videx here. Alfredo Amato and Marco Panessi. They're a boat that have had some strong pole position performances in the past, but never managed to win a race. And I don't think they're going to improve this time through. 2 minute 38.07 is their best, and again, that was about 3 seconds off the pace.
You can definitely see that all the quickest times were early in the morning.
Yeah. Absolutely, which isn't necessarily the way it tends to go. Many times we see the battle for pole position going right down towards the end of the session, and everyone trying to get out and use what they've learnt. But here comes Abu Dhabi Boat 4 through the final corner. Majed Saeed Al Mansouri and Rashid Mubarak Al Kamzi in their Doug Wright built boat, as they now get ready to come across the line. And at the moment, they are on a flyer actually, and it could be a good lap time. A 2 minute 38.84 for Abu Dhabi Team 4, so that is good. They go up to 7th place. So they are the first boat in quite some time to make an improvement.
Yes.
So the challenge now is raised for Gold Coast Australia, because they've just dropped back a position down to 8th place. This is the Nicolini boat, boat 6, coming through the final turn. Looks to me like they're starting a lap. So they come across the line now, Tommaso Poli and Matteo Nicolini. Good line through the first corner there for them, but they still are down in 10th position on a 2-minute 40.26. Again, only a tenth of a second slower than XCAT, so if they can just gain a tenth, they'll be up into the top 10. Here come Team Saracen Australia meanwhile. They're a couple of seconds off the boats in front of them. And are we going to see an improvement for Team Saracen Australia? No. 2:44.5 for them, a couple of seconds slower still. For the 8 boat of Brett Lerman and Paul Virik Nielsen. Paul raced with Tom Barry Cotter many times, so he's very used to the Australian co-pilot situation. And great to have Brett Lerman's enthusiasm for the championship here. This is 22 then. Videx, Alfredo Amato and Joachim Kumlin. We saw them start their lap. Now we're seeing them come towards the end of it, hitting 170 kilometers an hour, and then the speed just dropping down a little as they came through that left kink. And then the speed will start to drop even more as they slow the boat down to come around the final turn. And I think they're going... Okay, so they've obviously made a mistake there or something on that lap, because they're going to wind up again and go for it to start another one.
Here you can really see how wide they're taking corners to pick up speed. No.
So they're about to start another flyer. Are Videx, Alfredo Amato and Marco Panessi, who are currently 6th. Sorry, Alfredo Amato and Joachim Kumlin, my apologies. Across the line they come to start their flyer, but how are the 6th boat doing? That's the question. They are approaching the end of the course, just coming down towards the final corner. Videx are in 6th place still at the moment. And here come boat 6 through the final turn. This is going to be a better run for them. I think this could end up being their best lap time of the session so far. 2-minute 40.26 is their best. They're coming towards the line now. Now they've still got quite a way to go actually, so it might not be an improvement for them. They come across the line and no, it's a 2-minute 44.14 for boat 6. So they're still down in that 10th position, and I think they'll be very frustrated with that because they are 3rd in the championship. We've got 16 minutes and 13 seconds to go here in the EMAR pole position session, and with the final 15 minutes coming up, this is how it stands. Ex-Dubai quickest so far, 2-minute 33.93. Dubai a second quickest on a 2-minute 36.34. I haven't seen Dubai out in a while actually either. Abu Dhabi team a 3rd quickest, T-Bone Station 4th, but again, just look at how close it is between 2nd, 3rd and 4th. That's going to be the battle to watch, I think, in the closing stages. Yachts are 5th quickest. We've got Videx, Abu Dhabi team 4, making their move up in these last couple of minutes. They're now up to 7th place, knocking Gold Coast Australia down to 11th. XCAT Racing are in 9th place. Gold Coast Australia down to 8th in boat number 11. 6 are completing the top 10. Marine Investimenti Suds, Team Saracen Australia, Fajera Team and Rahib. And I think Lady Spain must have run into some problems out there because we saw them take to the course, but they haven't yet set a lap time. So they are on the course now, though, I believe, Lady Spain. So that's good to see. Jay Price and Sean Torrente, and we are on board with them now. And the problem for them is they're not going to have much experience of the course and know what's going to happen. Here's the 22 boat, though, of Videx. They're coming through the final couple of corners. Currently 6th quickest. They need to gain about 7 or 8 tenths of a second if they want to get in front of Yachts and up into 5th place. Here they come towards the line. It's quite a low rooster spray, isn't it, out the back from FIDX. But it's not an improvement. 2-minute 40.73. This pole position session, okay, started quite early in the morning, at sort of 9:30. Does that have an impact because maybe there's not as many big ships out there at that time in the morning or something like that,
yes,
compared to later on?
Definitely right. And also it's a fraction colder in the morning.
Okay.
And these engines like cold.
Yeah.
They don't like the heat.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely. So that's yeah, you find that with a lot of engines that they will run better in colder conditions.
Yes.
So here comes Jay Price and Sean Torrente in Lady Spain. Across the line, starting their hot lap at just over 170 kilometers an hour, swinging it through the right-hander, and we go on board with them, left to right, as they make their way up the straight. You can see the speed increasing, and at the moment it looks reasonably stable. The top speed's reasonable as well, hitting 173 kilometers an hour. As they now get ready to slow the boat down. And we'll see how it behaves through this far corner. 13 minutes to go in this EMAR pole position session. There you can just about pick out the boys on the right hand side. A little wide of the first one. It's behaving reasonably well through there. Go back on board now. And this is the stretch that has been difficult for the boat so far. And again, not a huge dramatic moment, but not as neat and tidy as they'd want. This is the roughest part of the course for all of the boats, as we've seen on many occasions. And this Lady Spain boat is a Victory team boat. Is it one of the older ones?
Yes, it is. I think it's hull number 3 or things like that.
Oh, right.
So it's been around. But even so, it's a very good boat.
Oh, I'm sure. It was designed brilliantly.
Well, it's widened also, so it's not...
So here they come. Jay Price and Sean Torrente. They're yet to set a lap time, so whatever they do will be good. Relatively.
Well,
very dramatic turn in there, wasn't it?
Yes. 11 minutes left.
Yeah, so they're not going to have time to... Well, do you think they'll have time to go back and make a prop change if they're not happy? It'll be touch and go, won't it?
Yeah, I think.
So here comes Jay Price and Sean Torrente out of the final corner now. Yet to set a lap time, so whatever they do will put them somewhere on the leaderboard. And it's looking like a pretty neat lap, so I think if they got into the top 10, they'd be pretty happy. Across the line they come, and it puts them in 12th place, a 2-minute 41.87.
Good.
So that's not bad for a first run out.
No, first run out and little...
So we've now got T-Bone Station out on the course. Giovanni Carpetella and Luca Fendi, they're approaching the far end now. And they are on a hot lap. So this is going to be one to watch for T-Bone Station. If they can just find 0.4 of a second, they'll go from 4th to 2nd.
It's not much.
No, exactly. Exactly. So they now make their way back down the course and getting a good chunk of air. As they make their way back down now towards the left-hand kink, past the hotels in the background on the most southern side of the Palm Island. And it's good to have Luca Fendi back in the series after he has missed most of the year, actually, Luca Fendi, but now he's back and really throwing it through that left-hander. Dramatic stuff. How important is the relationship between the drivers. I mean, obviously Giovanni Carpetella is an incredibly experienced and quick
Of course,
pilot.
it's extremely important. The more you drive together in different water conditions, the better you are, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. So through the final corners then comes number 10, T-Bone Station.
It looks very quick, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it didn't look too... it looked pretty smooth out on the rough part of the course as well.
Wow.
Bit of a weave there, but they're coming towards the line now in the number 10 boat. Their best lap time is a 2:36. I don't think they're quite going to beat that, you know, as they come towards the line. It's going to be a couple of seconds shy, I think, as they come across the line now. Is it any improvement? No, they remain in 4th place. 2 minute 38.85, a couple of seconds slower than they've managed previously. But
Looks like they're going out for another lap, I think.
Yeah, they can go for it again because they've got very clear water in front of them. There's no other boats anywhere near them, in actual fact, so it'll be a very flat run for them. This is Lady Spain, meanwhile. The 46 boat of Jay Price and Sean Torrente coming towards the line. And the boat dancing around just a little bit as they cross the line now. Is there an improvement from 12th place? No, 5 seconds slower actually, so must have made a mistake somewhere out on the course to go 5 seconds slower than their previous run. T-Bone Station, though, meanwhile, are going for it once again. There they are up at the top end of the course, dropping the speed down to only 100 kilometers an hour as they come around. Exactly. And I think they might have made a mistake there.
Yep.
Didn't quite catch it as we came back from Virtual Eye, but the boat certainly wasn't pointing the way they'd want it to. And you can see, yeah, they've backed off now. You can see the speed has dropped down and they're not going full throttle. So it's not working there for T-Bone Station in boat number 10. Giovanni Carpetella and Luca Fendi, maybe they'll just take their time and rejoin and regroup and then get going again. Only 7 minutes to go now, and it looks as though most of the teams have decided that the conditions aren't really improving. This is the leaderboard at the moment. Dubai quickest, 2 minute 33.93, still with that lap time that they said about an hour and 20 minutes ago. Dubai second quickest on a 2 minute 36.34. Then we've got Abu Dhabi team boat 5 in 3rd place, T-Bone Station in 4th, and they are the one boat that is out there trying to improve and make their way up the order. Then we've got Yachts in 5th place for Francois Pinelli and Salbu Bacho. Then Videx in 6th position in boat number 22 with Alfredo Amato and Joachim Kumlin. I think they'll be satisfied with the 6th place qualifying if they can sort that out. Abu Dhabi team are 7th quickest ahead of Gold Coast Australia in 8th, SweCat Racing in 9th, the 6th boat of Nicolini completing the top 10, the boat that's 3rd in the championship at the moment. Then Marine Investimenti Suda in 11th place, Lady Spain 12th, Team Saracen Australia 13th, Fujera team 14th, Rahib are 15th at the moment. And here's Lady Spain coming through the final corner, trying to improve on their 12th place. Like I say, I think they made a mistake on their previous lap because they were 5 seconds slower than they'd managed on the one before that. So through the final turn they come with the Dubai International Marine Club there on the left-hand side down in the Mina Siahi district of Dubai. And are we going to see any improvement from boat 46? Lady Spain, their best so far, 2 minute 41.87. I think this is going to be a good lap actually for Lady Spain as they come through. It puts them up to 8th place, 2 minute 39.15. So Lady Spain go up into 8th position, and that knocks Gold Coast down to 9th. It knocks Nicolini out of the top 10. So Jay Price and Sean Torrente starting to get into the groove, and maybe if they go again, they could even challenge Abu Dhabi Team 4. In fact, they're only a second or so off Videx, who we can see here in 6th position. So Videx know they've got to try and find some time to improve. And of course for Lady Spain, I presume they think, well, we might as well carry on because their best lap time was set in these conditions.
Yes.
So there is the 22 boat of Videx. Alfredo Amato and Joachim Kumlin. So they're out there. We've got 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go. So we've got Lady Spain Videx, and another boat that I can't quite pick out. Oh, T-Bone Station are here, but I think they're coming into the wet pits now, aren't they? That's the session over for T-Bone Station.
Yes.
They are going to be satisfied with 4th place by the looks of things, unless someone can rob it of them. And oh, very wide there. That's really, really wide for Lady Spain coming through the first part of that far corner. Maybe that was an intentionally wider line. But Lady Spain and Videx, the 2 boats out. We've got another boat out there. I can't quite figure out who it is at the moment, but oh, it's Abu Dhabi team number 5. So they're on an outlap, and they're in 3rd place at the moment. So they're going to go for one more flyer. So we've got 3 boats on the course with just 3 minutes to go in this EMAR pole position session. And this is Lady Spain.
I take it they will now go for the last lap. They're picking up speed.
Okay, so this will be the one for Lady Spain to try and improve from that 8th place. As they swing through the left-hander. Fantastic to watch them just through that little kink because it's so fast. And they're coming towards the final few corners now. There's another boat milling around in there. Abu Dhabi Team 5 have actually just come across the line very, very slowly indeed. So I wonder if perhaps they're not going to go for it, because at that speed they're not going to have time to get around and start a lap again. So I think it's over for Abu Dhabi Team. Here come Lady Spain now, going very, very wide to straighten up, floor the throttle.
Yeah, as wide as possible.
That was the widest thing we've seen anyone go.
Clever.
Yep, Jay Price and Sean Torrente with one last shot at the EMAR pole position run here in Dubai. It's round 5 of the UIM XCAT World Series, the penultimate round of the championship. Lady Spain come across the line now to start their final flying lap. Taking a lot of speed through the first corner. We've also got the 22 boat of Videx out there. They're essentially battling over 6th position for Videx, 8th position at the moment for Lady Spain. It doesn't look as though Abu Dhabi team are going to go for it, and I think it's just going to be these 2 boats that are going to be the ones to watch in the final 2 minutes of the session. So it must just be the water conditions, okay, that Abu Dhabi team, do they kind of just check the water and think, oh, if it's flat we'll go for it?
I think they're happy as it is. They know what they have. They have maybe tested 2 different propeller setups, and they say it's okay.
Yeah,
we know what it is.
And are we expecting the conditions to be different tomorrow?
It's predicted to be a fairly much more wind coming from the sea right in. Some teams will not like it, other teams will like it.
Absolutely. So will that make the water rougher or just different?
Rougher, definitely rougher. And the rescue team is who decide if it's going to be a storm course or not. If they think it's too dangerous, to pick up 3 or 4 boats at the time, they have to say no, thank you in advance, and then it's a storm course. And I don't think it's a very proper storm course here.
I think 46 have bailed on their flying lap, and I think 22 Videx might have as well. They're certainly not going flat out, are they? So I think that
yes, that's the end of it, I think.
Yep, that's the end of it. With 30 seconds left on the clock, we're going to have no more improvements on lap time in this EMAR pole position session. And once again, it's Dubai that are going to start on pole position, and they're almost unstoppable, aren't they? Okay.
They're very professional with home waters. They know what they're doing an excellent job.
And so they end the session quickest at 2:33.93. Dubai, second quickest. They will start in second place on the grid for tomorrow's race. 2:36.34. Abu Dhabi Team 5 are in third place. So we've got the top 2 in the championship, first and third at the start tomorrow. T-Bone Station will begin in 4th place. Then we've got Yachts in 5th, Videx in 6th. Abu Dhabi Team 4 are in 7th position with Lady Spain 8th. 9th place is Gold Coast, Australia. 10th place for XCAT Racing. The other championship contenders, XCAT 6, Nicolini Offshore, are down in 11th position, which will be frustrating for them. Marine Investimenti Sud in 12th, then Team Saracen Australia in 13th. Fujairah team in 14th place, and Rahib will start at the back tomorrow in 15th position. So, let's look back at some of the highlights of that session in what was a very entertaining run, and it was this lap time about an hour and a half ago that gave ex-Dubai that EMAR pole position. And it was a very neat lap from Arif Al-Zafin and Nadir bin Hendi, and now we're looking at it back, it looks so much flatter up at the far end of the course.
Yes, huge difference.
Yeah, really huge difference. So that was the lap that put ex-Dubai in first position, a 2-minute 33.93. Boat number 5, Abu Dhabi team, pushed hard, and they could only right up close to the buoy there. Fantastic stuff. And that was when they made their mistake, didn't they? Had a bit of a twitch coming through the final corner. This was a moment as well as one of the boats missed the buoy. I think that was the Gold Coast Australia boat coming through the final couple of corners, and they ran into trouble. The XCAT team, as ever, were keeping us very entertained, and this was one of their moments. Getting a little bit of air coming down back towards the coast, but that wasn't their only moment of the session.
No.
Then we had the Saracen Australia team out there. Good to see Marine Investimenti Sud out after they missed the practice session yesterday. Nicolini Offshore struggling as well in that run back down towards the coast, which was catching everyone out. And the 2-boat of XCAT were pushing hard, and in the end couldn't manage that quick position. They were second in the early stages, but in the end they finished down the order, setting the 9th quickest time at the time, but ending the session in 10th place after a late surge from Lady Spain. But it's ex-Dubai who ended the session on pole position. Even though they came out and had another go, they couldn't quite manage it. T-Bone Station were a little bit all over the place coming up through the final corner, and that's why they couldn't improve either. Giovanni Carpatella and Luca Fendi. So, okay, it's going to be ex-Dubai who will start on pole position, but that we've seen them a couple of times over this season lose out at the start of the race, so that'll be absolutely vital, won't it?
Yes.
There was the moment for XCAT, and there you can see the moment there. Drama indeed for the XCAT racing team. Lady Spain at the end of the session managed to climb up to 8th position. Videx tried to improve but couldn't. They will start the race in 6th position. So my thanks to powerboat designer and the man responsible for much of the success of the victory team, Oke Manafelt, for joining me for this pole position session. Later on today we've got the Dubai Duty Free XCAT run. It's beginning at 3:30 local time, which is 11:30 GMT. And it's going to be a very entertaining XCAT run. It always is here in Dubai as they contest the drag racing. So thank you very much, as I say, to Oke Manafelt.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure being here.
Cool, thank you very much for coming, okay. And make sure you join us later on for the Dubai Duty Free XCAT run at 3:30. Tomorrow is the Dubai Grand Prix, the penultimate round of the U.A.E XCAT World Series season. It begins at 2 o'clock here in Dubai. Later on we've got the Dubai Duty Free XCAT run, but it's ex-Dubai who take the EMAR pole position for the penultimate round of the championship.